called it. I predicted it. I predicted that Zhang Weili was going to submit Carla Esparza. I just couldn't shake that gut feeling that Weili was going to get a sub. Something told me in the lead up that Weili will tap Carla Esparza. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. Something deep down told me Weili's going to find a submission. Okay, and here's why. Even though everyone's pick was all Weili by knockout and she'll stuff takedowns, bully Carla on the feet and finish her on the feet, which that was a possible outcome and that could have happened. The reason why I knew Zhang was going to submit Carla Esparza, the reason why I knew Zhang would submit Carla, here's why I knew, okay? Because I knew she was going to be forced to grapple in this fight, okay? It was inevitable that Carla would get a hold of her, and it was inevitable that Weili was going to get taken down. I knew it. I knew this would happen. I knew they would grapple. Weili wouldn't be able to avoid the grappling scenarios against Carla Esparza. Carla gets a hold of people, and she's good at getting people down. And I knew that would be an issue, but I had an inkling that Weili was going to respond with a submission attempt. Okay? So round one happened. She was defending a few takedowns of Carla Esparza. But then eventually one takedown got through. But then Weili, because she's stronger, she just kind of reversed Carla Esparza, scrambled over to her back, and looked like she was working for a submission against Carla. But Carla defended well. And then Carla, through her wrestling knowledge, was able to steal back a position to end up on top of Weili. And of course, Weili Zhang got back to her feet and continued walking down Carla Esparza, just picking her apart, being the aggressor in this fight. And then round two happened, and it was the same thing. Zhang Weili stood her ground, wasn't backing up, wasn't lowering her output. She was getting in Carla's face, but she was being very patient. She wasn't like just overthrowing herself or being aggressive. She was picking her shots, but she wasn't being like Rose, who was just not doing shit throughout the whole fight. Like, she was doing something, but she was patient, not giving Carla openings to catch her being overzealous, but she was walking her down, picking her apart, being the better striker. And then Carla went for a takedown and almost got it, but then Zhang Weili again scrambles, takes Carla's back again, and then sinks in that rear naked choke, and Carla's forced to tap. I just had a feeling. I had a feeling that Zhang Weili was going to scramble and find a submission somewhere in a scramble off a takedown. Something in my gut said it would happen, because Zhang Weili has elite level grappling and she's got good submission skills. So I knew there would be a submission threat against Carla Esparza's wrestling. And Carla got herself in trouble. So she didn't get knocked out. She didn't take too much damage on the feet. But where she got in trouble was the ground. And Weili subbed her. So not surprised this happened. And I'm happy that Zhang Weili is the champion once again, because she is worthy of holding that title. Carla Esparza being a two-time champion should have never happened. That's all on Rose for underperforming the way she did, giving Carla way too much respect, and then also bad judging, rewarding Carla. Rose beat herself more than Carla beat her, so this shouldn't have happened. The universe is correcting itself the way it should be. The champs of this division should either be Rose Namajunas or Zhang Weili. So thank you, Zhang Weili, for making things right. This is how it should be. And I think we all saw this coming, man, that Zhang is just superior to Carla Esparza, in all areas. Carla is a good wrestler, but that's all she has. Zhang Weili, she has the striking. Zhang can also wrestle, but not only that, Zhang, I think, is a better grappler than Carla Esparza. She's got that jiu-jitsu threat to kind of counter Esparza's wrestling. So, yeah, Weili I said, she had too many tools. She just had way too many tools in this matchup for Carla Esparza to have to worry about. Whereas Weili just had to worry about one thing, the wrestling. Dealing with the wrestling, defending takedowns. That's literally all she had to do, all she had to prepare for, and this fight was a wrap. All Zhang Weili, she's just too good, and she's that next level, and she's just getting better every time we see her. And undoubtedly, is the best in that division, although there's still that Rose Namajunas trilogy that I believe needs to be completed so we can have a clear picture as to who's the best in that division. I've stated this many times, even on my old channel, why this trilogy needs to happen and that this would be one of the biggest trilogies in women's MMA, and I believe the first big trilogy in WMMA, and definitely one of the biggest fights in women's MMA because Rose and Zhang are huge names for the sport of WMMA with massive fan bases, massive followings. So that trilogy would gather so much views and attraction, you know what I mean? But not only that, Zhang Weili hasn't beaten Rose Namajunas yet. That's the only former champion that Zhang doesn't have a win over. So Weili has a chance to make history and have a win over every, former strawweight champion in UFC strawweight history. Or Rose has a chance to come back and just prove that she's superior to Zhang by beating her all 3 times and erasing all doubts about the first being a fluke and, the second fight being a robbery, that she shouldn't have beat Zhang Weili. Like, if she goes out there and handily wins the third fight, the second fight split decision won't matter, and people will respect the first fight knockout win for Rose a lot more. It's just such a special fight because both these women are so highly skilled and they're so evenly matched. Even though Rose beat her twice, she just flashed her the first time. But the second fight, Weili almost won, and it was a split decision. A lot of people thought that Weili should have won. Like, Weili showed when she's not getting knocked out in the first minute, she can compete Rose and she can beat Thug Rose. And there's a high chance that maybe this time she will beat Thug Rose. And that's what makes this third fight so exciting. Like, the whole mystery of, who's going to win this one? Because of how competitive that second fight was. Like, both can beat each other on any given night. Like, if Rose is on her A game, she is a threat to Zhang Weili. So this third fight definitely must happen, and I believe it will happen. It is inevitable, and I predict it will happen in 2023. And this fight is on my to-do list for fights that I really want to see next year. But the night belongs to Zhang Weili. I'm so happy for her because she's like my second favorite strawweight next to Thug Rose. So if Rose isn't champion, if there's a champion I want in this division, if not Rose, it is Magnum Zhang Weili. So I couldn't be happier. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on the performance of Zhang Weili against Carla Esparza. Be sure to like and subscribe. Share this video if you can, and peace out.